Hello and welcome back to the Dugout podcast. This is episode number 53. I'm your host, Alexander Cruikshanks. And today's episode, we've got the trio back after a good wee while. I'm looking forward to this one. And we're going to be going through the European games, sort of previewing games for Rangers, Hibs, and Dundee United. Three massive first legs coming up for them in their respective European qualifiers. And we're also going to be having a little bit of fun with our SPFL home kit league tables that we're going to be going through. That's going to be in the back half of the show. But first of all, I want to bring in my co-hosts, Ethan Barlow and Laurie Finlayson. Ethan, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. This is where the big stuff starts this week. The Premier Sports was a good little ease back into Scottish football, but this is the stuff that really matters now. And
Yeah,
hopefully all the clubs pull through and do well. How's yourself?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm feeling like the football is well and truly back now. We sort of mentioned with last week with the Premier Sports Cup that was sort of it kicking into gear, but now it is the real top level competitive stuff with Rangers, Hibs, and Dundee United going into these massive European qualifiers. We have Return of the King, Laurie Finlayson, after a couple of weeks hiatus, couldn't make a few episodes. He actually won't be here next week either because he's on a beautiful cruise. Totally jealous of him. But he will be sending in his league predictions, so you'll be able to see what he has to say and why Kilmarnock are finishing first.
I don't know about the last bit. I would love it though. I'd love it if we could replicate 1965 when Kilmarnock won the league on goal average. That was for goal difference, I think. It used to be goal average. Anyway, yeah, it's good to be back. Although obviously the next couple of weeks I'll be out of action again, as I'll be heading the open seas, heading to Norway.
Yeah, yeah, sounds excellent, and yeah, like I said, I'm jealous. But yeah, me and Ethan will be here slogging it, reacting to Rangers getting beat 6-0 off of Panathinaikos. But anyway, I think that leads us into the start of it. Rangers taking on Panathinaikos tomorrow at Ibrox will be on the BBC. So if you don't have TNT, you'll be able to watch it on console telly. So first of all, I'll come to you guys. I'll come to you first, Laurie. How do you feel about this game in terms of sort of Rangers' chances?
I think it's going to be a tough one. I mean, of course, Champions League qualifiers are never easy. But I don't know why. Maybe it's something to do with the Greek national team and how they play against Scotland. But you kind of feel like a solid Greek side like Panathinaikos with a lot of pedigree behind them and a real banana skin for any team that they come up against. Like they're not a team who could necessarily be seen as better or worse than Rangers. Probably on paper they're kind of similar in levels, but it's not one of these games where it feels like a gimme. And I'm using the phrase feels like deliberately because we've seen it many a time with Scottish teams in Europe including Rangers, where they fall at the first hurdle against what can only be seen as inferior opposition, which certainly isn't going to be the case against Panathinaikos. And let's just hope for Rangers and the coefficient's sake that Russell Martin's new signings have started to bed in and bed in quickly because he's made quite a few in quite a short space of time. So it will be really interesting to see how it goes tomorrow night. I think
Yeah,
getting a those at Ibrox would be key, I think.
definitely, definitely. One thing I wanted to bring up though was the Panathinaikos manager Rui Vitoria. I saw a report. This guy seems like a real brainiac. He says they were studying the weather conditions, the pitch,
Well,
how specific players play and move. He said they've looked at everything. Ethan, it seems like a very analytical manager that Russell Martin will be coming up against in his first competitive match as Rangers manager.
Yeah, definitely. And that's good because I think Russell Martin he might not give it away that way, but I think he's probably of the same arc. Maybe not the weather, but so much goes into these games and studying every individual player and how they play, what their weaknesses are, and stuff like that. But as Laurie said, this is a really tough start. Panathinaikos not qualified for the Champions League in 15 years, so they've got a point to prove. and they've got some really good players on their books. And you don't really know what you're going to get from this Rangers team. You don't know what starting 11 you're going to get. I think you probably have a rough idea of the most players that are going to be starting, but you don't. I mean, you can take stuff from friendlies, but it's never really the real thing until you go into that competitive match in front of a full Ibrox, and it's a must-win game. Because as Laurie said, you don't want to be going over to Greece, having to win there or being even behind.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Just on that starting 11 there, I would like to maybe hazard a guess, although, like you said, Ethan, it is difficult to tell. But if you guys like, I'll just tell you what the way, give you my little prediction, and I'll see if I get
Yeah,
it right
feel free.
or totally wrong. But just based off of perhaps some preseason performances and the way I think Russell Martin will line up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go for it.
yeah, feel free. Yes, go on.
Okay, so based off of what I've seen, he seems to favour the 4-3-3. He can play with a 3 or a 5 at the back if he wishes, but throughout his managerial career, um, he does seem to favour a 4-3-3, an attacking formation. Uh, so I would go with Jack Butland in goals, a centre back pairing of John Suter. And this one is the difficult one, but I will go with Nasser Dejiga. He's played at a higher level than Emmanuel Fernandez. He's got experience, so I'd go with him. Left back, I'd probably. This is an interesting one because I would go for Jeffy, but Max Aarons has been deployed at left back quite a lot during the pre-season, so I would probably say it would be him. Right back, I go James Tavernier. Pretty simple. Nico Raskin, Mohamed Diamande, and this is maybe a bit of a curveball, but Nadim Bayrami. I think he's been really good in pre-season. He's been looking good, so I'll go with him. And then the front three, Gassama won't be fit to start, Russell Martin said. So I think it will be Oscar Cortez. And if this player's fit, it will be, I think, Tilo Asgard off the right. And through the middle, this is probably nobody's expecting this, but just he's been lighting it up in pre-season. Danilo.
Yeah,
Oh, I
quite
wouldn't.
possibly right there. Yeah, I can't really have much disagreement with that setup. I think with Cyril Dessers and Hamza Gaman, with the rumours surrounding them and their future, Russell Martin's obviously tried to bed Danilo in, and he has done, and Danilo's performed pretty well in pre-season. That's why he keeps getting the nod up top, and Russell Martin will be looking for him to carry it into competitive matches. On the wide areas, Rangers still a little bit short, you would have to say. They've obviously got a few players in now, but as you said, Gassama not going to be fit for this one. I think Taylor Osgard's a massive, could be a massive turning point, whether he's fit or not fit. But yeah, it's a lot of new players, then a lot of players that are linked with moves away, so you really don't know what team is gonna start tomorrow. But whatever team does start, they'll have to give 100%. They'll have to go to Greece with the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting though just to see how the team have gelled. I mean, pre-season for Rangers has very much been a mixed bag from the outside looking in. I mean, obviously the game at Ibrox against Club Brugge kind of sticks out, but of course they did start off really, really poorly, and then all turned it round. So I mean, there is clearly a spirit there, which is a good sign when you've got kind of such a new team put together under new management. And just another point on Rangers, just quickly. I think Russell Martin the other day there, or someone high up at Rangers, anyway, I think it was Russell himself, was quoted as saying that he's been in regular contact with Sir Alex Ferguson, of all things. And Alex, particularly for you as a Rangers fan, how does stuff like that make you feel? Is it cliche? Is it just overused and overhyped? Or is it something that actually excites you as a fan more than anything?
No, I don't think it excites me. I just think it, he could. I think he obviously one of the greatest managers of all time is a valuable man to have in your corner, giving you advice. But Russell Martin is his own man. He's his own manager. He won't. Uh, Maybe this is me speaking out of turn because Sir Alex Ferguson obviously did extremely well at Aberdeen and then struggled at Man United. But anyway, back to my original point. Russell Martin won't be Sir Alex Ferguson. But he did struggle at United and then he did really well. Sorry.
No,
But
no,
then,
he
yeah,
did three
I
months.
was
No,
going to
no, no,
say,
you made a valid point.
He
And
struggled at the start. He nearly got
no, no,
sacked.
he did,
We
he
all
did,
know
he did, he did.
But yeah, Russell Martin won't be Sir Alex Ferguson. He'll never be. I don't think he'll ever be that level of manager. I mean, if he could win a European trophy with a Scottish club, I'd take that. But yeah, so I wouldn't say it excites me, but it's interesting to see. But I don't think Russell Martin should get bogged down with other people's ideas either. I think he should make his own decisions. And the one thing that I saw during the week that Lee McCulloch and Richard Goff and John Brown and John Gregg were all spending
yeah,
time
John
with him.
Gregg.
And that's great. Listen to these guys, take a bit of advice on board, legends of the club, but make your own decisions, do your own thing, carve your own path. Don't because I feel like that has been an issue over the years. You need because a lot of people, a lot of managers, and a lot of players who come in. There's extreme pressure to understand what it is to be a Rangers player, to be a Rangers manager, to be employed by Rangers, to wear the club colours. But I feel like a lot of people get wrapped up in that, and it becomes everything. And
Yeah,
you can you can be a Rangers player. You can know what it means. You can do it your own way because what it means is to win. You don't need to get bogged down. Like obviously, take on board what these legends have to say. You know, take it,
yeah.
but take it into your sort of decision making and way of thinking, and mold it into your sort of philosophy. I've went on a bit of a tangent there, but that's what I think.
No, no, I think that's perfectly valid, and even you can obviously chip in as well. But I think personally, I think that's the right way to look at it, Alex. It's great to get advice from these people, and God, is it good to say that you've got Sir Alex in your corner. But like, to be fair, it's not the most unique thing in the world, even amongst Scottish football. Like, I mean, Derek McInnes often went on about it when he was, particularly when he was Aberdeen manager. So it's one of these ones where you know, having Sir Alex in your corner is great, but, be your own guy, think different, and also I think the media sometimes overplay these things. I mean, to say I don't know, for example, that Russell Martin and Sir Alex had a conversation on the phone doesn't necessarily mean that Sir Alex is influencing what you see on a match day, and I think maybe some fans need to remember that.
They could have been just chatting about like how the family's doing and all that, and well done, you
Exactly.
Rangers manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or look at this.
exactly.
It's been raining the past couple of days, chatting about the weather. You don't know what they've been talking about. He could have just been in to give him a word in his ear and go, "Well done, Russell. Don't mess it up," and then ask him, "How's the family? How's this? How's that?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think I would definitely agree with the points both he's made, and I don't think Russell Martin's, from what we've seen at Southampton especially, is the type of person that is to be worried about not doing the things that he wants to do. I think he's made his style of play in the past very clear, and he's been very sure in what he wants to do. It's not always brought the right results, but a lot of the time it has. So that's why he's the Rangers manager, and that's why Rangers owners have placed a lot of faith in him to steer the club in the right direction. I'm just looking at Panathinaikos a little bit. Like I've got two friendlies I've seen they've played here. They get beat 1-0 off FC Nordsjælland, beat 2-1 off Sporting Braga, so a decent level opposition. But they have got some good players dotted across the squad. Albin Lafont, they've just signed a French goalkeeper from FC Nantes. feel like Max, former PSV left back, and let me see who else they've got here. That stands out, Tete, Brazilian winger. I think he was linked with Celtic actually. Former Shakhtar Donetsk player. Karol Swiderski, the Polish striker, and Facundo Pellistri, Uruguay. I think he's on loan from Man United, not a permanent sign from Man United. So that's just to name a few. So they've got a good few players dotted about that squad, and although they've not won the league, and you wouldn't consider them maybe the biggest team in Greece, they've got a lot of quality there. And if Rangers don't turn up in both legs, then they'll have a really tough task on their hands to get through.
Yeah, definitely. Just before we move on, I think to Hibs and Dundee United, I want to bring back the predictions, and let's all give a wee first leg. Well, I don't know, Laurie, do you want to do both legs since you want to be here?
Okay, right. You know what? Let's go for it. Fair's fair. This will fall flat in my face, but I'll be in Norway and I won't see it. So let's say the first leg, Rangers will win at Ibrox 2-1, I
Okay,
think.
okay.
And in the second leg, out in Greece, I'm saying, let's think here. I'm saying we maybe get a one each draw, which would mean Rangers would just about get themselves through. And the Brainiac, as you put him earlier on, Alex, will be beaten by Russell Martin.
Okay. Ethan, how do you think Martin will fare against the Brainiac?
I think it's a really hard one to call, and I'm glad I'm not in Laurie's position that I need to call both legs, because I've only seen one professional game from this Rangers team. But I'll say at Ibrox, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, just a safe prediction.
Okay. I'm going to nail my colours to the mast here. I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers.
Confident.
Very confident.
Well, I don't really have anything to base it off of, so I'm not going to go pessimistic.
No, I just went more realistic is what I would say. I've went.
I mean, I do respect it, Alex.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it comes true. 3-0 Rangers, Danilo hat-trick. Stick a tenner on that. Please gamble responsibly.
Please don't do that. I was just going to mention, do we want to speak about the proposition of Rangers for the future if they get through in the Champions League or drop into Europa League, their opponents there?
No, not really.
It was obviously the draw was today.
No, I don't care.
You don't care, right? Okay, so Europa League.
Just
Well, I'll go for the worst scenario. So if Rangers drop into the Europa League, third round of qualifying, if Panathinaikos were to knock them out, they would either face Besiktas, of course, of Turkey, or Shakhtar Donetsk, of course, of Ukraine, which two very tricky opponents
Difficult.
on the face of it.
easy money.
But
Easy money.
even after losing to Panathinaikos,
Yeah.
No chance.
It's when those players hear the Europa League tune, mate, they turn superhuman.
But remember, Alex, and I'm sure we can get someone to confirm this. The Europa League anthem isn't allowed to be played at qualifiers. So
yeah, it's only no. I think it's the playoff round, so you'd have to go one more round to get the music. I think Laurie's right there.
All right, then if we progress and then drop out, what's the other scenario?
Well, we don't know that yet. But if Rangers were to win, which hopefully they do, because the Scottish coefficient needs a big boost at the moment, then they would face either.
You know, the Scottish coefficient might be in a better place if anyone else pulled their weight for the past like 7, 8 years.
Yes. I'm aware of that. Yes. I was just saying that we the Scottish coefficient needs any help it can get. So Rangers can get into the Champions League, which I think is maybe an unrealistic expectation with some of the teams they could get. Although the next round could be pretty decent for them because it's either Servette, or Victoria Pilsen is the other team, I think.
Yeah, spot on.
Hearts managed to give them a game, so and Hearts are
Yeah, Hearts probably should have won that game last year.
Hearts are guff, so just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Neutral journalist.
I think the camera might be coming back to happen tomorrow, Laurie.
But potentially we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we will.
We'll see where our Rangers fans are feeling it in the air.
That was nice. We'll be getting that 40, 50 million, whatever it is, qualify for the Champions League. We'll make top eight. We'll get to we'll probably get to the semi-finals even at least. So yeah, man the range. Nah, just kidding. I've went on a bit of a tangent here. No, but aye, well, I'm completely gone. We'll wrap that up and go on a little break, and then we'll come back to talk about Dundee United and Hibs. I've calmed down a little bit. Going on to. Do you want to start with the Europa League qualifiers? We'll go with Hibs versus FC Midtjylland versus Hibs rather. And this, for the three teams, I'd say this is the toughest ask. Been missed out on the Danish top flight league title by 2 points, was it?
I think it might have even been a single point.
A single point, I think.
So Hibs are basically playing the Danish champions, and yeah, it's a really tough draw for the High Bees. They've made a good few signings, club record signing as well. Make sure to tune in at 10 a.m. on Thursday for my one-on-one interview with Charlie Banks, previewing Hibs' season. It should be a good one. He gives a lot of information, and it will be a perfect appetizer for you guys before the Hibs game. But yeah, I like to be optimistic about Scottish football, Ethan, but this seems like a really tough ask.
Yeah, definitely. There's no getting away from that. But I think if Scott, I was mentioning before about Scotland needing a lot of coefficient, and if we've to, as a country, earn our stripes in Europe, then we all the clubs need to step up. And I know it's going to be a really difficult task for Hibs, as you said. Midtjylland were just 1 point away from actually winning the league, and therefore going into Champions League qualification. But obviously in Europa, and they would expect to qualify for the Europa League. But Hibs can go there with confidence, and hopefully they can take a positive result back to Easter Road, whether that's a draw or losing by a single goal, then you never know. But I think we are due a sort of upset in qualifying terms, because it's been a lot of kind of going out, and when the teams are expected to lose or maybe not the favourites in the tie, they have done. And the qualifying for the competitions anyway. And maybe Hibs are going to be the team to break that and pull off an upset. Midtjylland started their league season at the weekend, and had a free each draw with a dense BK, I think it was. So maybe that can give Hibs a little bit of confidence that they've not started the season too well when they would expect to beat the majority of the teams in that Danish Super League.
Yeah, maybe it can, but then you were saying, could Hibs be the team that pulled off that shot? I would be a little bit surprised if they were, because we all remember a few years ago, under the almost circus-like stewardship of Lee Johnson, when Hibs went to, I think it was Andorra, and they lost. Yes, they won at Easter Road and they got through and they played Aston Villa and all the rest of it, but you know, Feeling playing Aston Villa, was Lee Johnson not already gone by the time they actually played them? Played Aston Villa? Was it not?
Might have been.
It might even have been David Gray in charge of that Hibs team. Trying to think back, funnily enough.
I wouldn't be surprised because Lee Johnson was a disaster. But anyway, just on this sort of more focusing on the Hibs a little bit, I think from my chat with Charlie, there's a really good feeling around the club right now. And we spoke about in the space of a year how they've transformed from your Lee Johnsons, your Sean Maloney's sort of fiasco, not a very well run looking club,
Yeah,
a club that look like they're planning for the future, a club that look like they're ambitious, breaking their transfer record. They went on an incredible unbeaten run. They play exciting football.
yeah,
So I did say it's a tough ask, but just from my Scottish sort of bias and hope, I don't think you can count Hibs out. Certainly, if they go to Denmark and get something, even maybe a defeat by maybe a goal,
a
I think
goal.
they can come back to Easter Road and give Midtjylland a run for their money.
Yeah, this feels very much like, I mean, not to bring Kilmarnock up and shoehorn them, but it's almost like Kelly played Copenhagen. You go into these games with a bit of fear and trepidation, but then also you feel like there's nothing to lose. And obviously when Kelly actually went to Copenhagen, we played rather well. I remember watching the game in the Park Hotel, and well, we lost to on the night a wonder goal and a bit of a dodgy penalty. And but that's it. It's moments where it's fine margins that will matter. And
Yeah,
if they can keep it respectable, go back to Easter Road, you never know. And obviously, you talk about it being such a positive, last few months for Hibs. Of course, this is a 150th year as well, so you would like to cap it off with something memorable.
yeah, and they've marked that 150th year with a beautiful kit. Are we tease for later on?
Yep,
But yeah, as well though, see you saying that there, Laurie, that sparked my memory. We saw two of our clubs who finished in the bottom six face off against the Danish champions last season, and they both did pretty. They both ended in defeat, but it
yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't a massacre. So
no,
maybe that is something for a team that finished the season much stronger than the other two. Something to grasp onto.
yep, totally. And even when, as you say, Copenhagen came back to Kilmarnock, it wasn't a massacre either. I mean, we drew the game. You know, like
Yeah.
and Hibs are better than us. Like
Maybe this is my memory making it fonder, but I think yous were perhaps the better team over in Denmark.
we we were, or at least I think we were. This is like me. Grad had a pint in me, and that's not like me, but I think we were the better team.
Neither.
And I remember. I remember, well, the Kilmarnock manager at the time, who will remain nameless for now, was rather aggrieved at a couple of things in the game, but he was quite proud of how we played, as was I. So I mean, I wouldn't, based on the experience Kelly had last year, I wouldn't count Hibs out here at all.
Yeah, and that's what we need to be able to say. I think is moving forward um as a a footballing nation, especially in European competitions, because it's you look at all the other nations, sort of similar coefficient to us. They've got 4 and 5 teams qualifying regular, whereas it's kind of, as they say, that the fishbowl in Scotland, where it is just Celtic and Rangers, and Hibs, Hearts, and Aberdeen have stepped up this window. You can see that they're all stretching their finances to try and give themselves the best chance in the league. But also for Hibs and Aberdeen this season on a European front. Another thing I've noticed with Midtjylland is they've obviously got a league game in between the two ties, which they'll all obviously have to contend with as well, whereas Hibs don't. And Midtjylland can't really afford to be dropping any more points because they've already started the season with a draw. So that's a match that they can't really rest too many players for, which could also come into Hibs' favour. But Hibs will just be hoping that they're still in the tie going into that weekend, and then going back to Easter Road, where hopefully you can get a packed. Well, I think it is already fully sold out, but the fans have something to look forward to and be confident about.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It would be, you know, yeah, getting all psyched for sort of European and then going to watch a game that's already done would not be fun for Hibs, but you know we are all behind them. We may be rivals in the league, but when it comes to Europe, we want the Scottish teams to do well. So we, oh gosh, my brain's gone again.
I was just
Prediction.
going to say,
Oh,
sorry, I was just going to say, we forgot to mention, sorry to cut you off. I was going to say, if Hibs were to get through, then the next round looks a lot more promising for them. They've got Fredrikstad FK of Norway, who finished, I think they won the Norwegian Cup, but they finished fifth or sixth. So if they can get past this one, then they've got a real chance in the next round. If they were to drop into the Conference League, it's Alexandria FC of Ukraine or Partizan Belgrade of Serbia, which will be a real hostile atmosphere because, yeah, I'm sure most of the viewers have seen their city's fans are quite wild to say the least.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Just before we get on to the predictions, I want to throw in some more plugs for the episodes we've got coming out. I forgot to mention earlier, 10 a.m. tomorrow, as we're recording this. Hopefully, we get this episode out tonight. But 10 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, I sat down on Zoom with David Edgar of the Heart and Hand podcast, the Rangers podcast, to speak about Rangers season. That's a really good episode as well. It's part of our series, the Dugout All 12 Teams, where we've been previewing every single team. I mentioned St Mirren one earlier, I mentioned the Hibs one. The Dundee United one goes out on Wednesday at 10 a.m. and there will be an episode every single day at 10 a.m. previewing each team with an interview with me or Ethan interviewing the expert coming up for the SPFL season. But now we get on to the predictions for. Well, I'm going to put Laurie on the spot again and ask him for both legs because he won't be here. I mean, Ethan will give our first leg predictions.
Okay, so I'm saying out in Denmark it will be 2-0 to Midtjylland in the first leg. So bit of disappointment for the Easter Road faithful, who of course will be hoping for sunshine on Leaf the following Thursday. And I think Hibs will give it a good go, but it will not be quite enough. I think they'll win 1-0 in the night, and then it will be a little bit bittersweet on the streets of Edinburgh.
Okay, Ethan.
I'm going to go with 2-1 and 2-1 to Midtjylland and Denmark. So not the worst result for Hibs, something to take back to Easter Road, but I just think they'll have too much for Hibs
Okay,
away in Denmark.
I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna copy you, Ethan. I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Midtjylland and Denmark. I agree. And then hopefully they can turn it around at Easter Road. Now moving on to the final European qualifier for the Conference League. Dundee United hosts FC Unastrassen. Is it FC or FK? Have I messed that up there?
FC, FC, I think you're right.
FC, I think you're right.
AFC Unastrassen of Luxembourg finished second in the top flight in Luxembourg. However, I did a bit of research before my interview with Stuart Mitchell, Dundee United episode coming out at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Make sure to watch it. But he commentator for the BBC, Dundee United expert. But anyway, we are now talking about Dundee United. I did a bit of research on FC Unastrassen, and their second place finish was actually their highest finish in the last 10 years. Their second highest finish in that was actually fifth. So they're not regulars to this sort of match of this magnitude and pedigree. And I don't want to disrespect the Luxembourgese top flight any
Yeah.
means necessary. I don't know if I've probably really messed that up. Luxembourgers, don't want to disrespect them, but any team in Scotland's, I'll go as far as say any team in Scotland's top six should be progressing against a team in Luxembourg.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, we have had our embarrassments in the past, the Scottish game has, but we really should be, beating those sort of sides, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, there can't be any slip up here from Dundee United. I know there has been in the past. For teams not just against teams from Luxembourg, from teams against other sort of minnow nations. That's the Scottish clubs, or at least the top Scottish clubs, should be expecting to beat. And yeah, it should be pretty straightforward for Dundee United. Hopefully they can pick up a win on. Are they at home first or away first?
They're at home.
At home
Oh,
first. So hopefully they get a win at Tannadice on Thursday. And then it's a good platform to take over there and then progress where it's going to get more difficult for them. They've brought in a lot of players, Dundee United, 11 signings already, a lot of them loan signings from across Europe. But yeah,
A
we'll have
lot,
to see
a lot of Eastern European sort of signings of that ilk from Eastern European clubs. They've obviously fished around the lower divisions in England as well, with the likes of Panucci Kamara coming in. More recent one from the Croatian. I think he plays in the Croatian. He played in the Croatian league. Ivan Dolcek, 25-year-old winger loan with an option to buy. That looks like a fairly exciting signing. Ethan, sorry to cut you off there, but I feel like I'm
that.
building on your point slightly. It'll be interesting to see how all these new faces, a bit like Rangers, gel in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, because I mean they've got a full starting 11 that Dundee United could put out because they brought in that Ukrainian goalkeeper. The name's escaping me. Um,
Yevgeny Kucherenko.
yeah, there we go.
yeah, well
So
done.
they've got a full 11, a full new 11 to put out. So it'll be interesting to see how Jim Goodwin fields. Obviously, they've lost a lot of players from last season as well. So that'll be the sort of difficult points for Dundee United. But they've played friendlies. Hopefully the players have all gelled well and they can progress through this tie because they should do. And if they do, then in the next round, I think it's FK Depcic of Montenegro or Rapid Vienna of Austria, which would be a pretty tricky test for Dundee United.
Definitely, and we could see we could finally see Marco Tilio getting some game time in Scotland if that happens.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
obviously,
true, yeah.
yeah, obviously, just completed that. Well, I don't know if it's been confirmed by the clubs yet, but looks like the loan to obligation to buy move reaching nearly €2 million, which probably shows the difference in finances between a club like Dundee United and a club like Rapid Vienna. They also completed their record sale this window, €10 million. So yeah, that'll be a big step up for Dundee United, but they need to make it there first. And um, if they go there and have a good try in Austria and perform well across the two legs, then no one's going to give them a hard time for going out to that level of opposition.
Definitely, definitely. Um, if no one's got anything else to sort of mention about Dundee United, I think we can give our predictions and move on. Laurie,
Yeah, so I think again I'll give both legs because obviously I won't be in the country. So I think at Paradise it'll be fairly routine for the Terrors. Let's say 3-0 to Dundee United.
I like that.
And and over in Luxembourg, I think it'll be a wee bit trickier, but let's say they'll win 2-0. Let's give them a goal left. Sorry to their opposition for not maybe getting a goal, but I think Jim Goodwin's side will get the job done because Jim Goodwin does know a thing or two about embarrassing knockout shocks, albeit not in Europe.
Okay, 5-0 an aggregate score there from Laurie. Dundee United fans will be loving him. Now, Ethan, we'll come to you. Just obviously the first leg for us because we will be covering it next week.
I'm going to go with 2-0, another pretty steady scoreline for Dundee United. I think they'll keep a clean sheet and hopefully they win by more than two. I'm just thinking first game with gelling all those players together, but as long as they get through, that's all that really matters.
Okay, I was actually thinking the same, but just to avoid the appearance of me copying you for nearly every single result, I'm gonna go bold and I'm gonna say 5-0 to Dundee United in the first leg. Ivan Dolcek hat trick. Stick a tenner on it.
I don't know. Will he
Wait,
be in the squad?
Please gamble
remember,
responsibly.
yeah, when the fun stops, you know what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's right, stop.
Uh, but okay, so that's it for our European preview. And now we can get on to the fun stuff, our SPFL home kit league table. This will be interesting. Obviously, it's all down to our opinion. We've got different tastes, different allegiances that may sway our decisions slightly. So please don't come after me. Go after Laurie and Ethan all you like. So
All right.
now, starting with 12, I'll go first if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah,
That's
that's fine.
fine.
In 12, I've got Livingston. Um, it's boring. The collar's weird. Just a random black thing across the chest, and I don't know. I've always hated the Joma logo as well. I think it's obviously it's not their fault who their kit manufacturer is, but that's what I've got. And the sponsor, uh, Livy Self Storage,
Livy self storage and van hire. That
yeah,
is.
cracking sponsor that. Nah, I've got them in 12th. It's just it's terrible.
Yeah, and I'll just say quickly on Livingston before I give my 12th place. Obviously, this is the 30th anniversary of Livingston as a club, hence why the slightly different badge this year as well, which I think is a
I like the
play of the
badge.
original badge.
I like the badge, but the rest is uh, awful. I will say though, for a few of these teams, the home kits aren't great, but some of the away kits I've seen and third kits, the rest of Livingston's kits, I'd say are quite nice. This, ugh, don't like it at all.
No. So I'll give my 12th place. Let's just say it's not Livingston. We'll get to them fairly shortly. In 12th place, I'm going to annoy some people here. Aberdeen.
I'll just jump in there, Laurie. I've got Aberdeen at 12 as well.
Wow. Okay. Come on, boys.
Right? You
Give me
want
your
to show?
reasons.
Let's show I'm working. I mean, what's the right? And Aberdeen fan can maybe tell me, right? What's the burgundy bit? Is that horse top? And the like polo neck part of it as well. He says we're wearing a polo. It just doesn't look right on a football shirt, does it?
No, it doesn't. It looks like a polo shirt slash training top rather than an Aberdeen kit. And I think this is the thing about this type of video is it is all objective, or subjective even, and
And
it's not really
when you
like.
talk, yeah,
But
when you talk
Me and
about
Laurie
that,
agree. So I think Aberdeen are probably going down
yeah,
the bottom of the table.
See if
I,
it's there.
I,
Sorry to jump
I,
in
on
again.
you go.
Um, it looks like something a 16-year-old with a fake ID would wear down the boozer.
Yeah, totally. And even you make the comparison to a training top, right? I can tell you, you're not alone in making that comparison because that is their training top, which Aberdeen have brought out this season, which looks a lot more akin to what an Aberdeen home top is. If both yourself, Ethan, and Alex look at your information devices, shall we call them now, I'll show you what an Aberdeen top could have looked like, and you will be seeing this on YouTube as well. Isn't that not more of an Aberdeen home top? That's the training top that Aberdeen are selling for 50 quid. And that could have been a home top. And I think it would be a bit better in 12th place.
Yeah, that's actually nicer than their home top. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, and it looks more like a football top rather than a training polo shirt kit, whatever we're calling it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So I think as it stands, because I've been overruled slightly, so it looks like Aberdeen are taking the 12th spot. I don't know how we're going to work this out properly, but
I
Aberdeen,
think should we do worst kit and then a podium?
yeah, okay, if you want. So I think Aberdeen are taking worst kit.
yeah,
So in 11th, I have Motherwell. Uh,
that's interesting.
I think it's for me. It's The maybe I've got a thing against lines against like bars across the chest, but it's too high. For me, and the big fat G4 claims, keep 100% of your claims, G4 claims. Not a sponsor of this podcast, although if you want, we'll slap it across the screen. You know, I just think
They're they're a sponsor of many others.
it's
They
not
just sponsor a few others.
it's not a great not a great kit in my opinion. And this seems like I really hate kit manufacturers, but the Macron logo is stinking as well. But it's
And what I'll say on that, Alex, the problem with the Macron logo, and you can't see it on this Motherwell shirt, and I don't think you can see it on any of the other Macron kit. You probably have it on your sleeve as well.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's why I've got them in 11th. I just think it's mainly the sponsor and the big burgundy slab across there. Ugh.
But I'll keep you on the good side of Motherwell fans. To them, that's no Burgundy, that's Claret.
Yeah, yeah,
What
you get in trouble for saying that, Alex. Uh,
burgundy, burgundy and orange. That's the
Laurie, you want to go next?
So, right, I'll keep this one brief because in 11th I put Livingston, whose kit we've already discussed.
Okay, fair
Yours?
enough. At 11th, I've got Heart of Midlothian. I just think it's a very bland, boring kit. There's not really much going on. I see there's like a kind of a pattern in the chest area, but I can't really work out what they're trying to do. So
Yeah. So the pattern in the chest I'm looking into this is actually a bit of the architecture of Time Castle. If you think, I think maybe the steel work we're going for, but it is kind of bland.
didn't Hibs already
that's
do
the
that much better like a couple of years ago with
I
Easter
think we
Road?
did.
Yes, they
I
did.
think we did.
A good point.
So
Yeah,
Hearts, pack it in, mate. No, I'm kidding. No, but it isn't a great kit. I agree with you, and I have them not as low as 11th, but I do have them quite low. So
Yeah.
if we want, are we good to move on to
yeah,
10th
good
then?
going on. Yeah.
Yeah, let me move on to 10th.
Um, in 10th, I have Falkirk.
Oh,
I think it's dreadful. Um,
Crunchycarrot.co.uk.
yeah, what's that?
I mean,
Massive big fat carrot sitting across you. What is this?
I don't know. I mean,
They try, you know,
awful.
Falkirk fans are farmers or something like that. What's going on? Farmers League. We don't need that reputation, and we've got a big carrot slapped across one of our kits. What's going
And
on?
here's the thing, as well as the carrot, you've got centralized kit manufacturer logo and O'Neill's, and then centralized Falkirk badge, and then to be fair, it looks like the sponsor logo is bigger than the Falkirk logo. I
Yeah,
mean, and
it's doing too much in the middle of the kit. The the see the way the sleeves cut off onto the chest, don't like it. Collar's nice. I can see from this photo they've got the white armpits down the side as if they've been rolling in chalk. Uh,
yep,
don't know what's going on with this. I do not like it. I have them in 10th.
likewise, Alex, likewise, rubbish.
well, Falkirk takes his place at 10th. Although I haven't got them, I have got. Laurie will be upset with this one. I've got Kilmarnock actually.
Oh, that's
Um,
low. That is low.
That is low. I'll
uh,
fight it later.
because Laurie said actually mentioned this before we started recording that the lighting on some of the kit pictures aren't the best and don't sort of show the kit off in the best manner. But the things that are really bugging me, I don't think the sponsor's great, especially with the orange colour. I think on some of the other Kilmarnock kits it's been made the one colour. And the
Yeah,
other thing that I really don't like, I actually really like the pattern. Of the stripes, but I really don't like that the badge and the Hummel logo are like in off the stripes, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Um,
you're a bit of a neat
I just
freak.
yeah.
yeah, I just don't like that look. I think I would probably rank it a little bit higher if the badge and the kit sponsor was on the stripes. But yeah,
And 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 speaking of the badge, we'll go there actually. Speaking of the badge,
yeah.
what do you think of the badge? It's divided opinion among Kelly fans.
I think it's
I don't know. I think I'd prefer the normal, the kind of classic Kilmarnock badge, or the modern day Kilmarnock badge, should I say?
yeah,
Yeah,
the more the one that makes sense with the hands and the squirrel on it. Yeah, that one.
yeah. Kelly fans haven't been too happy the fact there's not a squirrel on it. It's got the home kit. If it was an away or a first kit, I don't think it would have minded. It's the home kit, but yeah, we'll get into where I ranked it in a wee bit. It's a little bit higher than that, but yeah,
Okay,
I'll say that.
so moving on to ninth place, I have Hearts. Mentioned it earlier, bland. That's why I've got them there.
Yeah. And 9-5 put G4 claims. Sorry, Motherwell, mentioned them earlier. Let's move on.
Yeah, I've got Falkirk. We've already spoke about them. The sponsor is weird and it's quite big on the kit. But I can bear with the kit more than the ones I put below it, so that's why it's in at ninth.
Okay, eighth,
Yeah.
I've got the polo shirt, Aberdeen.
Right. And 8, Ethan, you can shoot me now. I've put Sales there just because I don't see, other than the tartan, what's different about it?
Yeah, but that's a fair point. There is. I think
There's
this has
only
always been.
right. I can't believe I'm coming to Celtic's defence here, but
I
there's
was
only
about to
so
say.
much you can do with green and white hoops.
There is.
There
Like
is.
we'll see my ranking in a minute, but I've actually got the other side of the rivalry in eighth. I've got the Rangers kit in eighth. Um,
What?
I think it's I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't blow me away. I said before the recording that maybe I'm a little bit picky. There's not many kits that I actually really like on this list, but yeah, I think the Rangers kit's a bit bland. Yeah, that's why I've got it in eighth.
Okay, fine, fine by me.
Okay.
All right, going on to seventh. I have the Kelly Pies, Kilmarnock. I think I'm a bit more generous than Ethan. I actually really like it, but I just think the six I have above it are better.
Yep, I think that's totally fair. And in seventh place, I may have been a little bit generous. I toyed over this one. I've put Hearts, who's just there, who is not. I was expecting Hummel to do better for Hearts actually. And obviously they're returning to manufacturing their kit. As much as we're not ranking away in third kits, they've done better with the other two, I've got to say.
Yeah. Uh,
And at seventh, sorry, the last team in the bottom six, I have got Celtic. I think that it's I don't know. I like that they've tried to do something different, and I always like when the clubs try and change it up a bit with a little bit of tartan through it. But I don't really like the look of it, to be honest. So it doesn't crack my top six.
okay. And at sixth, I have Celtic. I like the tartan. That's maybe the nicest thing I can say. No, I'm joking. No, I think it's quite smart. It's better than Preve. I think it's perhaps the best kit in the last couple of years for Celtic.
Yeah, to be fair, as much as I've been harsh on it, it was probably better than the one a couple of years ago. That was it almost looked like snakeskin. Ethan, you moved down what I said,
Yeah,
but
that one was quite bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually like last season's kit. I thought last season's kit was smart, but yeah, the snakeskin one, yeah.
the
But
wee Tyrannosaurus Rex kit that you rolled out.
yeah,
But
I think it was maybe like church windows.
right,
Yeah,
like stained glass almost.
yeah, that kind of idea, but it just didn't really work out at all.
like,
But yeah,
yeah, it just looked like someone had slapped a wee iguana on there or something. But anyway, fifth, I have Dundee United. I think it's quite a smart kit. Um, I like the
You,
patterns, I like the stripes. I love the badge being right on the stripe, Ethan.
yeah.
Perfect.
Did
That's
you
where I've got
did,
them.
did you jump to fifth there? I'm in who I put in
oh
sixth
yeah,
actually.
oh yeah. I
Who,
don't think we gave her
Oh,
six.
sorry, boys, I've skipped over yous there.
by the way, in sixth I've put Rangers return to Umbro. It's decent. It's probably
Yeah,
better than Glasgow.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. And Sackf, I've got G4 claims.
Wow, that's
Again,
high, man.
it's not one of my favourite kits. I wouldn't say I like it, but it's just better than ones before. I like pinstripes as well. So I think it's an okay kit. But not too high.
Okay. Fifth, I had Dundee United. What about you boys?
And fifth, I put my own team. I put the mighty Kelly. Trying not to be too biased, but like I think we've done something a bit different with stripes, and it's not the I would say it's not the first time we'll hear that, you know. And if you say there's only so much you can do with green and white hoops, there's only so much you can do with blue and white stripes. And at least Hummel put something different in there. And I mean, Ethan, you pointed out the pattern, which I think something to do with Kilmarnock's former ties to the lacework industry is what I think it actually comes back to. But it's nice to have something different because obviously the last season kit was very traditional, straight up and down, so it's something a wee bit different. The retro badge, by the way, I do quite like it, but I understand why some Kelly fans are a wee bit aggrieved. We do have a regular badge on the away kit, by the way, and I'm not sure what badge is going to go on the third kit, which is still to come.
Yeah, I'll give my fifth. This might be a bit controversial considering where yous have put them, but I've got Livingston
My
in at fifth. And the
God.
main reason, the main reason is because I looked back at some of the teams and what they changed about their kits over the years, and Livingston's kits for quite a while now have been really really boring. And I think you said this was boring, but this is one of the lesser boring efforts, so that's why it's in fifth. And now we'll start to get to the actually good kits.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Much better than Livy kit anyway.
maybe not in your guys' opinion. And fourth, I've got the Teddy Bears. Uh, I think it's a beautiful kit. I love it. Love the collar.
I,
Love
I
the.
will say, I will say, Alex, it looks better, you know, in the flesh. Like I've seen people in it. I've seen you in it as well. And it does look, it's one of those ones that looks better in the flesh. I think
I
maybe.
don't think you have seen me in it. I've not worn it. I don't have it.
I feel like I've seen you in it. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I've imagined you in it.
You just imagine me in Rangers kits.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's I've got that at fourth. And see, to be honest, if it didn't have the big fat uni bet, I'd have it in first. I love it.
That's fair.
But that might
That
be
Yeah,
is totally
as
fair.
a that's a major down point. I didn't mention that, but yeah, the
Yeah.
sponsor isn't great.
I mean,
okay.
I think Unibet, to be fair to them, they say they're on the 0% mission. I'm sure they used to say know your limit. They don't know their limit with going on football kit sometimes. Anyway, in fourth place, we were talking about difference in stripes and such like St Mirren. Controversial, but I like that.
Yeah, I've got them. I have still to say, so I've got them pretty high.
Yeah, I've got them pretty high. Not fourth though. I've got Hibs in fourth. I
Wow.
really like the anniversary kit. I think you could say it's a little bit boring, but I think it's just a classic design, and I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and we'll go on to our top threes. Moving on to the final three, or the big three, the top three.
Yeah.
Who's going to be taking the top three spots? Let's see. We'll shake it up a little bit. I'll go to Ethan first. Who have you got in third place?
The Paisley Buddies, St Mirren. I really really like it. It's different. It's not just the boring stripes. It's got the little pattern, which it looks kind of like paint. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like a little bit like the Paisley pattern as well, a little bit. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be, but
I'm
I've got a
zooming in
feeling it
on it.
maybe is.
I'm zooming in on it here. There's actually, I think it is broken up sections of the St Mirren badge.
oh,
Oh.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, I can see that now. I think, I think you're right though with paint. I think that Mirren did try and market it that way, you know, in the
yeah,
TV videos, and also they have definitely used Paisley pattern in the past. I remember on a St Mirren away kit, maybe Ryan Niven or Kilgunn could help us here. I remember there was one year where they used Ewan McVicker of Tell Me Something Good fame to show off this like black Paisley pattern kit. So
yeah.
it's kind of leaned on, but it is a brilliant effort from St Mirren and Macron this year. And also, even though it's in the middle of the stripes, the sponsor isn't too bad because it's actually black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what Macron were doing with Motherwell when they produced the big G4 claims and
I think,
gave
I,
gave,
I
gave
think,
this for the buddies.
yeah, I think a lot of that stuff though, in fairness to sponsors who we have slagged a little bit, and everyone does when they're reviewing kits. I think it's down to individual companies. Like, for example, like the company who everyone loved sponsoring Kilmarnock for 3 years, Brownings the Bakers, the home of the Kelly Pie, or Kilmarnock Pie, I better say. I don't want to get sued, right? Um, basically, they were never up for changing their colour. So sometimes on, not as much as home kits, but on some of the away in the third kits, it would kind of stick out a little bit. So not every company is up for changing their branding, but clearly, if you're St Mirren, getting a company to sponsor your kit whose branding is either black and white or they're happy to change it to black and white is a massive win.
Yeah. I've also got St Mirren in third for all the reasons we spoke about. Fantastic kit. Just before we get Laurie's third place, I like to say as well, our good friend Ryan Niven, host of Pitch and Park podcast and a co-host on Buddy's Bench with Robbie Collins. The Pitch and Park podcast is the official season sponsor of St Mirren centre back Richard King. So that's a
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I mean, a bit of a maverick of a centre back is King Richard, as Ryan called him. I mean, he was taking penalties the other day, wasn't he? I think
Yeah,
I
it was. Yeah.
Was, and it was a cracking penalty.
yeah.
Who have you got in the third place position?
In third place, you could say Love is in the air, as they might. Of course, they sing the John Paul Young track. Dundee United, going back to Fripes.
Yeah, nice kit. I agree with that kind of thinking. Maybe I've had them a bit low because I don't think Ethan's mentioned them yet. But yeah, really, really nice kit there. My second place is Hibernian. I've got for all the reasons we spoke about earlier. Just a really clean, smart anniversary kit. And it really stood out to me in Josh Mulligan's sort of announcement photos. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
that's a stunning kit. I don't know if it was the way the light was hitting him or whatever, but I was like, yeah, this is a superb showing from another one that I slammed earlier, Joma. But yeah, really, really nice kit. So a really crap one from Macron and Joma, and really nice ones as well.
really nice ones. And and like yourself, Alex, I've actually put Hibs in second also. Although one thing I would like to comment on actually is between the three of us, the shade of green, is that not a bit different to the regular Hibs green? I mean this as a compliment. It seemed a bit darker to me.
Yeah, it is. It's darker and
Yeah.
it's kind of in the way in those sort of Josh Mulligan photos as well. It almost had like a shine on it, like a metallic kind of thing. It just looked beautiful.
Lovely.
Oh, and what's the? I'm forgetting the detail, but there's a detail with the Bevy.com sponsor. Laurie
Yeah,
probably knows it.
yes, indeed there is. I think there's something. I'm trying to even get on if I zoom in. I can't quite place what it is. But I think there is some sort of thing around maybe it has something engraved in it, like I don't know about the 150th anniversary. I don't remember the
Yeah.
exact detail, but there is something. However, and I wouldn't normally stick up for a betting or an alcohol sponsor, but Bevy are always doing really interesting things when they have kit. I
Also,
remember a few, I
that's
remember a few years ago they put a QR code as a sponsor at some point for some reason.
that's a legendary sponsor, by the way. Bevy.
Aye, Bevy. Very, very, very Scottish as well, it feels like.
Yeah.
Won't get a pre-match bevy.
Very,
Like that sort of.
very Edinburgh. Just kidding, guys.
I'll get a second. Is Dundee United. Yeah, as you can probably work out by now, and maybe well for all of us,
Yeah.
who the winner is. But yeah, I had both Dundee clubs taking the pole positions. I thought their kits were brilliant efforts. But Dundee come up trumps, I think, again because their kits over the last 3 seasons now have been excellent.
yeah, and this home kit is one of the best never mind Scottish football, one of the best football kits I have seen. if
Yeah.
I
And
didn't have
their
sorry,
away kit isn't shabby either.
yeah, if I didn't have if I didn't support a team in the Scottish top flight, I'd probably buy this. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the detail. I love the badge. The done the amended sort of badge. The stripes down the middle. Um, Macron coming up again with another one. And it's everything it's everything that Falkirk's attempt isn't. You know,
Yeah, that's very true.
it's
Indeed.
clean. The detailing on the sleeves, the sponsor fits as well. Um, I don't know why, but see the sponsor, you got the big crown, and then sort of the gold on the badge as well. It sort of
Yeah.
makes it
It
look.
blends in nicely and goes well together. A bit of synergy there, it feels like. Maybe accidental synergy, but it works.
Yeah,
And also
Yeah,
the pattern inside the shirt. What do we reckon that? Is it maybe Dundee badges trying to work out there maybe?
I think it is. Yeah.
I think it is.
Um, I seen someone was saying when this kit was released that if you remove the Dundee badge and put a Paris Saint-Germain badge on it, then it would be one of the best selling kits in the
And
world. And
and they're right. I think they're
yeah,
right.
it is really that good. Yeah, Dundee are just they're the kit kings at the minute,
Yeah,
or they've got the kit crown, you could say,
Yes,
for that
indeed.
sponsor.
okay. So, the worst kit by voting is Aberdeen's the worst kit in the SPFL this season. The best kit is Dundee's, and I believe in second, 2 votes to Hibs. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
they take second place.
indeed.
And in third place would be St Mirren because they had 2 votes as well.
Yep.
And honourable mention, Dundee United, who took 2 spots in 2 of our top threes as
Yep.
well. So that is it for our SPFL kit rankings, our league tables. We hope you enjoyed that. Laurie's got a bit of a job this evening, overlaying certain images. But yeah, thank you to you guys for this. I've really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
likewise. And I mean, as someone who, to be honest, and has way too many football shirts, ranking football kits is fun. I'm saying that this is one of the few episodes where I've not actually worn a football shirt. And look, none of the three of us have worn one actually. Um, and
Maybe we should
it's unlikely.
discuss that before we started.
Yeah, maybe we should have. Maybe I have to put the command home shirt on. Oh, wait a minute, I couldn't because that's in fact the way to go on my cruise.
Oh
No,
no, you're one of them that bring their football kits on holiday.
yeah, that is controversial. Let's go to discuss that. Do it, don't do it. I mean,
I don't do it.
to be fair, I did leave one of Kelly's from this season behind. If no one's ever seen it, right? The Kilmarnock goalkeeper shot from this season. I don't know if any of you two have seen it yet. Um, let's just say it's rather out there. I decided it was best not to take that one on my holiday.
I love that kit. I'd rank that above Dundee's kit.
What the
right.
rainbow goalkeeper shot that Kelly brought out?
I love out there shirts. I'd rank that up there.
Oh, come on now, don't be don't be silly.
What? I'm not. I'm not.
He's, he's allowed to have that opinion.
Do you think I'm trying to rage bait you or something, Ethan?
No, no, no. To be fair, I said that. That's the thing with kits. We can all sit and have a laugh about it because at the end of the day, people like what they like. It is very much up um to each person. I'm sure there's a lot of Aberdeen fans out there that love that new Aberdeen kit, but
And they would
uh,
be wrong.
Yeah, they
well,
would be wrong actually.
yeah, they probably would be. Can't even defend that.
Yeah, people. People's opinions. You can never be wrong with your opinions because they're your opinions, but you can be because if your opinion is that's a good kit, you're wrong. But anyway, thank you to everyone for watching and listening. to this episode of the Dugout podcast. Make sure to go check out the Twitter at the Dugout 2024. Go check out the TikTok at the Dugout. Ethan's been doing a lot of work on the Twitter, posting news.
Legend.
Eh?
I just say he's an absolute legend with that stuff.
He is an absolute legend with that stuff. I've been on the TikTok, maybe not quite legendary status, but I've been putting the work in, delivering news every day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also as well, me and Ethan will be appearing tomorrow. Oh my God, the name is Ethan. What's the name of the show again?
The Locker Room.
The Locker Room. Me and Ethan will be appearing on the Locker Room tomorrow to preview Rangers' game against Panathinaikos, and then we'll be on after to react to the game and what happened. So it's a live show. So make sure to tune into that. And me and Ethan will also be on next Monday's episode of Pitch and Patter previewing the season. So yeah, make sure to go check out that. Make sure to like or subscribe to the podcast. Thank you all again for listening. Goodbye.